Winter. Winter. With all its beauty and its challenges. Winter driving is at best frustrating and at worst dangerous. In difficult weather, it can take all your driving ability just to keep your vehicle on the road. In order to safely handle your vehicle in winter weather, you must be able to assess road conditions, predict how your vehicle will react, and know what actions to take to keep it under control. This program will teach you what you need to know to become a good winter driver. We will demonstrate certain principles of physics and how they explain the action a vehicle takes. We will familiarize you with the danger zones, those parts of the highway that offer the greatest driving challenge in winter conditions. You will learn basic techniques to maintain control of your vehicle and to correct a loss of control situation if one occurs. And finally, we will discuss points of vehicle inspection to ensure your vehicle is properly prepared for winter driving. We begin with the laws of physics. Look at a vehicle in a stationary position. Its weight is evenly distributed over the suspension system. Its mass remains stationary until sufficient energy is applied to break its state of inertia. Now set the vehicle in motion. Acceleration causes a transfer of some weight toward the rear of the vehicle, so that its weight is no longer evenly distributed over the suspension system. More weight is over the rear wheels than is over the front wheels. This is true whether the vehicle is rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The more rapid the acceleration, the more dramatic the weight shift. A change in direction, such as around a corner or a curve, puts more load on the outside wheels and less on the inside wheels. Even during a turn, the mass of the vehicle is inclined to travel in a straight line. Deceleration causes a transfer of some weight to the front of the vehicle, so that more weight is over the front wheels than is over the rear wheels. The more rapid the deceleration, such as with hard braking, the greater the weight shift. This is true whether the vehicle is rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. These principles affect vehicle handling in any weather condition, but become more critical on winter roads. Next, we will show you how they apply to specific winter driving conditions. Traction, which is the cohesion between your tires and the road surface, is the only means you have of generating the forces needed to control your vehicle. Without traction, you have no control. Water, snow, and ice reduce traction, making the tires less able to properly accelerate, maneuver, and decelerate your vehicle. Occasionally, just getting your vehicle moving can be a problem if you're stopped on a slippery surface. If the wheels begin to spin when accelerating, stop immediately. Spinning tires have no traction. The heat they generate will, however, turn the surface under them into glare ice if it isn't already. If your vehicle will not move forward because it is wedged in snow, you can often get it moving by rocking the vehicle back and forth. Remember to first straighten your wheels. As long as you keep them straight, they have a better chance of cutting through the snow wall. A turned wheel presents a much wider area of resistance. All of your driving actions, accelerating, steering, and braking, affect the contact between your vehicle and the roadway. For example, the back end of your vehicle could begin to spin out if you over-accelerate on a slippery surface. To correct this, simply ease off the accelerator and try a more gentle touch on the pedal. Other times you may turn the wheel, but your vehicle continues to travel straight ahead. This situation is called understeering because your vehicle is turning less than you want it to. Understeering happens when your front wheels do not have enough traction to change the direction of your vehicle. This is often caused by entering a turn with too much speed. The natural reaction when this happens is to hit the brakes and turn the steering wheel even more. However, this only makes the situation worse. You will see why in a moment. To correct understeering, you need to restore traction to the front tires. The correct action is to lift off the accelerator. This causes a slight shift in weight toward the front wheels and will help restore traction to those tires. At the same time, you should decrease your steering angle slightly. As soon as traction is restored, turn smoothly back into the direction you want to go. Too much braking also causes understeering. Hard braking causes the wheels to lock up. Once wheels are locked, the tires stop rotating. You have no steering control. The solution to an understeer situation caused by braking is to release the brakes. This unlocks the wheels. The tires rotate, and the vehicle regains traction. If your vehicle turns more than you want it to, this is called oversteering. The rear wheels lose traction, and the forward momentum of the vehicle causes the rear of the vehicle to come around toward the front. Again, usually too much speed entering a curve or when changing direction creates the problem. Since it is a loss of traction by the rear wheels that started the problem, the answer is definitely not to hit the brakes. Also, don't let up on the accelerator all at once. These actions only increase the weight shift toward the front of the vehicle. A weight shift over the rear wheels is needed. This is accomplished by gently accelerating without spinning the tires. At the same time, turn in the direction you want to go. If the back of your vehicle is sliding to the right, turn toward the right. If it is sliding to the left, turn toward the left. This combination of gentle acceleration and turning in the direction of the skid should allow you to regain control of the vehicle. In a manual transmission vehicle, don't depress the clutch in an emergency. This causes your vehicle to accelerate and further compounds a loss of control situation. The best rule to follow about skids is not to get into one. They are terribly dangerous. However, if you do get into a skid, act fast. The steering techniques we just discussed only work in the first second or two in a bad skid. Once your vehicle veers around more than a few degrees, you can't steer out because your wheels won't turn that much. The last rule to remember is to get off the brake. It is impossible to control a skid if your wheels are locked. Your only hope of steering out of a skid is with 4 free-rolling wheels. In order to avoid skids, you need to learn proper braking technique on slippery surfaces. The technique to use is stab braking. Stab the brake until you feel your wheels lock up and then release it until the wheels are rolling again. Continue this stab and release process until the vehicle's momentum is under control. This is the best technique unless your vehicle is equipped with anti-lock brakes. If it has ABS, slam on the pedal and hold steady pressure, even if you feel a pulsing in the pedal or hear a grinding sound. This is normal. Don't release your foot from the brake until your momentum is under control. There are 2 important adjustments to make on slippery roads. One is to decrease speed, and the other is to increase following distance. Test the traction with the road surface by gently applying the brakes in a controlled, non-crisis situation. Also, test your steering ability by smoothly steering slightly to the right and left. Get the feel of the pavement before an emergency arises. There are certain danger zones that can cause particular trouble for winter drivers. One is curves. Most accidents on curves happen because the driver was going too fast. Correct corner speed depends on several things: how slippery the road is, how a curve is banked, and the condition of your tires. If conditions are really bad, a good rule of thumb is to cut the posted curve speed in half. If the sign says 45, make sure your vehicle is not going faster than 22 when you enter the curve. Brake, steer, and accelerate one at a time. Apply the brakes before you enter the curve. When you are in the curve, steer your way through it without braking or accelerating. Once you are on the straightaway again, you may begin accelerating. Another danger zone in winter weather can be a hill. Accelerating before you get to the crest can cause the vehicle to fishtail. An expert driver will start up a slippery hill as fast as conditions and common sense permit, but will not accelerate on the hill. Going down a slippery hill can also present problems. The slower you go, the better. If your vehicle starts to slide while going down a slippery hill, You might steer off the right edge where traction is usually better. Even straight roads can be danger zones for winter drivers, especially if you are not managing your speed and space properly. There are some road conditions which require extreme caution. For example, black ice. This is a thin coating which resembles the road surface. Black ice can be very deceptive. It catches drivers who have not tested the road surface recently. Bridges and overpasses can be ice covered, even when adjacent surfaces are not. Different temperatures and types of snow produce different driving problems. New snow at low temperatures produces fairly good traction. However, traffic quickly packs this into ice, especially at intersections. Even on very cold days, warm sun rays melt a thin layer of water on the top of the ice, making it extremely slippery. When snow is thawing, traction is very poor. This combination of snow and water create a very slippery surface. Vehicles can slide readily. Gentle actions are the key. Most drivers recognize the hazards of snow-covered or icy roads and adjust their speeds accordingly. However, very few of them recognize how dangerous rain-slick roads can be, and most of them continue to drive too fast. When raindrops first start to fall, they mix with dust and oil on the road to make an especially slippery surface. Snow or slush, in combination with standing water, increases the chance of hydroplaning. Once your vehicle starts to hydroplane, almost all steering and braking control is lost. Winter road conditions can change quickly, especially as time and distance passes. Keep alert for signs that the road may have become slippery. If road signs are covered with icicles, the rain has probably changed to freezing rain. Look at the tire tracks in front of you to get an indication of outside temperature and general road slipperiness. If the tires are not leaving tracks, chances are the temperature is below freezing and the road surface is slippery. When it is safe to do so, test the slipperiness by gently applying the brakes in a controlled manner. Visibility is also one of the major problems for winter drivers. In winter weather, leave a window cracked for ventilation. Cold temperatures coupled with humidity inside your vehicle can cause your windows to fog. Run your defroster to keep the windshield warm and free from moisture. Turning on your air conditioner, if you have one, will also remove moisture from the air. Make sure you clear all your outside windows and not just the windshield. Winter days also bring with them rain, snow, and fog in the air. If outside visibility is reduced, turn on your headlights so other drivers will see you. Remember, fog reduces your ability to judge distances. Cars and other hazards may be closer than they appear. If you find yourself in a really dense fog, pull off the road and wait for it to lift. It won't last forever. Snow plows and large trucks often kick extra snow up off the roadway. Visibility may be near zero beside them. Although it may slow you down to stay behind, it is better to do this than to try to pass when you cannot see. At night in snow or fog, you will actually see better if you keep your lights on dim. This reduces the reflection of your lights off the particles. Snow can also obscure road markings, making signs for curves and other warnings for drivers unreadable. Be extra alert if this happens. Preparing for winter driving is a very important aspect of winter safety. A safety check of your vehicle is in order. At the beginning of the season, check your tires. Since the tire tread directly influences your traction, this is the time to replace worn tires. In most climates, an all-season radial with a good tread is acceptable. If you can expect deep snowfalls, you may want to consider a snow tire. Snow tires and chains will give you better traction. However, keep in mind, snow tires will actually increase the stopping distance of your vehicle on glare ice. A wide tire is not recommended for winter travel. Throughout the season, check your tire pressure and maintain it at the level recommended by the manufacturer. Underinflated tires increase the chance a vehicle will hydroplane. Check all your lights. Headlights, as well as turn signals, brake, and tail lights must function so other drivers are aware of your maneuvers. Adjust and clean your mirrors. Be sure your windshield washer reservoir is filled and the washers are working properly. Make sure wiper blades are in good condition. Check that the rubber is supple and not torn or pitted. A good ice scraper and snow brush are indispensable safety items for winter driving. Keep the gasoline tank full. The added weight gives you additional traction. Also, in extremely cold weather, a full tank helps to avoid condensation, which could freeze in fuel lines and cause stalling. On cold days, start your vehicle and give it a chance to warm up before you begin driving. However, never run a vehicle in a closed garage. On sunny days, the glare off ice and snow can often blind drivers. Good sunglasses make it easier to see. Carry an emergency kit to protect yourself from hypothermia and frostbite. Remember, hypothermia can occur in temperatures as high as 50 degrees. Before you make a move, buckle up your seatbelt, no matter what the weather. Get yourself prepared mentally for the challenges ahead. While you are driving, think through what you would do if an emergency situation developed. Now let's take a moment to review some of the important concepts you have learned in this program. First, traction, which is the cohesion between tires and the road surface, is required for control of the vehicle. Traction can be lost if vehicle weight is improperly shifted forward or backward. Acceleration shifts weight toward the rear of the vehicle, and braking shifts it forward. Hard braking causes the wheels to lock, resulting in loss of traction. Steering and braking ability are also lost. Manage your speed and following distance properly to avoid an emergency situation. If an emergency arises in front of you, the stab and release braking method will stop your vehicle sooner and allow you to maintain control. In a skid, the only hope of driving out is with 4 freely turning wheels. Although winter brings many driving challenges, if you practice the principles presented in this program, you can keep your vehicle on the road and out of difficulty.